We're going to unpack something I call the 4 C's next on the Given a Purpose podcast. Welcome to the Given a Purpose podcast, where we bridge the highs, the lows, the lessons learned through life's journey and filling in the gap. You already know what it is. It's a new week. I am your host, as always, Mr. LA. Listen, I always want to thank you guys. I don't want to take it for granted. I thank you guys for tuning in every week since I've been back in this year of our Lord 2025. I'm just thankful, man. I'm just so thankful for you guys just coming and listening and sharing and just, accepting the things that I'm talking about. And I really, really appreciate it. So let's get to it. Today, I want to talk about something I call the 4 C's. Get your little vitamin C in. So 4 C's I want to talk about today are commitment, consistency, communication, and character. All right, I'm going to say that one more time so we make sure we got it. We got commitment, consistency, communication, and character. And I kind of want to talk about how they all tie in, right? We all know what commitment is, man. Something that you say that you are going to do. Now, there's different type of levels and there's different type of commitments. You could be in a relationship, you could be in a marriage, you could have made a commitment to each other and of God to be with each other, and you know the vows and all those things that come along with that. So we're not gonna get into that. But commitment is what you intend on doing. It is what you verbally said that you're going to do, and you're going to show it by your actions. So commitment is very foundational, right? It is the foundation. So when we're building a house or we're building something like that and we're creating the foundation, right? We're going to pour that concrete. We're committing to you that this concrete, that this foundation, or you know what I'm saying in this example, we're going to use this foundation. We are committing and we're saying and we're guaranteeing that this foundation is going to hold up the rest of the house. So that is the intent of the foundation, is to hold up the house. Now, as we build up this house, right, that's how we kind of get to our next C, right? Our next C is consistency. Whew. Listen, this one right here, consistency is something that is very important to me, right? Even in everything, in partnership, if you're in a relationship. And one of the sexiest things to me is you being consistent, right? Is how you repeatedly actualize your commitment, right? If you say you're going to do something, if you say you're going to love me, you say you're going to do something for me, if you commit to whatever it is, how often is it showing up in your actions? How often is it showing up in your actions? How consistent are you in doing what you said you were going to do, going back to the foundation, going back to the commitment? Are you consistent? That's lovely right there. That's gold, right? So just to kind of backtrack real quick, we got our commitment is our first C. Our second C is consistency. And now our third C. Our third C is communication. Whew. How well are you communicating? All right? How well are you able to articulate how you feel? How good are you in communicating what you said you were going to be committed to? How well in your communication, because it's not just verbal, how well are you communicating in your actions, your consistency? right? Communication is just so important to our everyday lives because things get lost in communication sometimes. Some things, because of the lack of communication, things don't get done. I think communication is so important. It's like making sure that people know our intentions, people know, because out of our mouth, right, our heart speaks, right? So we communicate to people our verbally how we feel or how we've interpreted something or how we've done something consistent, whether good or bad. Something you can be, and that's the thing about it in this lesson of the three C's, right? You can be committed to some bad stuff and you can consistently do the bad stuff and then you verbally communicate those bad things. But it also works on the flip side. You could commit to some good things, right? You can be consistent in your walk. You can be consistent in your faith. You could be consistent in your morals. But because it's so deep, because it is the foundation, and that you consistently do it, it'll show up in your communication. It'll show up in how you love a person. It'll show up in how you talk about a person. It'll show up in how you talk about yourself. Man, something that I've been dealing with right now is working on self-care and self-love. Go check out last week's episode about self-care. But the self-love part is something that I am working on and understanding. I've made a commitment to make sure that I love myself. I'm going to be consistent. And people that I show up for, they'll see it in my communication, right? So that's so important. And I realized, and it kind of gets me back to just thinking about things like things that Jesus taught us, right? Jesus told us there's two commandments, right? It's really two commandments: love your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, all your mind, all that good stuff. But he also told you to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And what I've learned in growing up in my faith and different things like that is that I'm kind of broken in that theology part of it or in that logical part of it. Because if you lack self love, how are you loving your neighbor? And so, like, when I realized, just kind of give you guys an example. So, I know you heard before that sometimes I'll do for other people more than I do for myself. But am I really loving them, or am I really committed to, or am I showing them really great love or just a great act? Because if I lack in self love, how am I in return showing or attracting the love that I think that I have? I think that is, wow, that's good right there. I think that is how we sometimes end up in bad relationships or bad, and I'm not just talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, things like that. I mean, it could be job wise, it could be just everyday life. Is that because we lack self-love, we attract people that have no self-love, or we attract, because of the lack of self-love, we attract those bad things because of that lack of self-love. Because if you truly loved yourself, you could then attract the love that you're looking for. Hmm. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. I like that. Listen, sometimes talking to this, I'm really talking to myself and I'm helping myself out. So hopefully that blessed somebody. Rewind it, look at it again, make sure you can break that down. And then that last one is character. Listen, if you lack commitment in something and you lack in consistency with something and you lack the communication part of it, your character is probably bad. Your character is probably bad. And what I've learned right now in the season that I am in life and just going back and reflecting on things, I'm just a different person now. Like, even as far as like dating and different things like that, I am willing to sacrifice chemistry over character. Let me kind of break that down to you. I've been in a lot of relationships where we have great chemistry, but that person's character, terrible. 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 Right? And that's so important because you know what that speaks to? That you've committed to some bad things. You're consistent in those bad things. You communicate to me those bad things. And now your character really shows up. And to me, character is currency. And if you lack in currency with your character, then I don't need you, especially in this season of in my life right now. Where I'm trying to go, the level I'm trying to go to, your character is currency. So I want you guys to kind of look at some of the relationships that you have in your life, some of the situations you may be in, whether it be job related, whether it be church related, whether it be your partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend, different things like that. Kind of backtrack. What is their character like? How do they communicate? Are they consistent? And then you kind of get back into asking them a question. So what are you committed to? In this relationship that we're in, or in this partnership that we're in, are we in alignment? Are we committed to the same thing? Are we going to be consistent with the same thing? Are we communicating the same language? And does it show up in our character? That's the awesome part of these 4 C's. All right. So commitment, consistency, right? Y'all got it? I remember I used to be slow too. So commitment, consistency, your communication, and your character. Hopefully this right here is going to help you level up. Hopefully this right here is going to get you to the next level. Hopefully this right here you're internalizing. Start with yourself first. Journal it out. What are my commitments? Am I consistent to those commitments? Have I communicated those commitments, right? Because that communication part, just think about it, right? Just think about it in your faith, right? God's word is his word. He's committed to his word. God is consistent in his word. And he's communicated his word through his son, through the Bible, different things like that. And we know his character, right? So while you're writing that down, you're communicating, you're consistent, right? Write it, make it plain. All right. So others can follow it. So hopefully this has blessed somebody just in their spirit, in their life, in their next level of leveling up, because it's going to take you far. These 4 C's, man, your vitamin C's for the day, for the week. So work on things like that. Like I said, jot down your commitments, the things that you said you're going to do this week. How consistent are you going to be? If somebody asked you, how would you communicate it? Because how you communicate it in your tone and how you communicate it with your actions and how you communicate it verbally will show them your character. Listen, I need you as always. First of all, let's back up, do a couple of things for me. And hit that subscribe button. Share this with as many people as you can, because I know it's going to bless somebody. Also, the last 2 things I need you to do, as always, make sure you live on purpose and make sure you live in purpose. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.